get the ship up and running. We'll evacuate everybody. And Sutra's like, if we just keep running, they're just going to keep hunting us down and killing us. We should stay here. We should fight. And Soji's like, well, I don't want to kill all those people. And Sutra's like, but why not? Because they just want to kill us. So let's kill them first. Kind of an idea. And, she says, we'll never be safe anywhere. We'll always be running, which I think I don't totally disagree with that. I think that the synths will always be running and hiding and living in fear from organics who want to kill them or stop them from procreating in their way that they procreate. And then here's where we see that Narek, unfortunately, is still alive, and he's been captured by the synths, and they're dragging him into camp, and they're about to put him in android jail. And we kind of are getting people, so as Rios and Raffi are going to go work on the ship, they're saying their goodbyes to Picard and Agnes because they're going to stay there. So we get Agnes in the lab in Bruce's quarters, and he's got Spot 2. Which is an android cat, apparently.
Yeah.
I saw the cat and I'm like, Spot!
Yes. I did.
So, does this mean that this is the second android cat? Like, if one of them got crushed? Or is it just Spot 2 because it's the second Spot, even though there's been more than one Spot because it was a different cat than the first time? Anyway.
Is it like Snowball, where it's like Snowball 5?
Right.
I feel like it's Spot 2 of like the android spots. I feel like Spot 1 maybe became too self-aware and tried to take over the world.
Gotcha.
He had to put it down, and then
he was like Toonces the driving cat. He could.
There you go. Oh, Toonces the driving cat. Look out, Toonces! I love Toonces.
Oh, if anybody doesn't know what that is, just look it up. It's from Saturday Night Live, and it's so cool.
Toonces driving cat, classic Saturday Night Live. It's awesome. Oh my god.
Okay, can I say the butterflies? Yeah? I was so disappointed with the butterflies because they look the most CG of anything in this show had so far.
Yeah, they did look pretty CG.
So I was a little sad. I was like, oh, everything else looks so real.
Yeah, the butterflies definitely did look very CGI. I mean, they were pretty, but very CGI.
Yeah, they were like, it was like they were put in. It was like Mary Poppins, where they're in the cartoon.
Oh yeah, where they're in the
yeah.
Yeah. Which, yeah, so the cat and the butterflies are all synthetic life forms. Rios tells Agnes that he's going to try to get the ship working. She says she's going to stay behind to finish some work that Bruce didn't finish. And they kind of have a moment here. We know that they've already been intimate. And she says, don't... Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, he is pretty good looking. I mean, can you blame a girl for...
Ouch.
So, she says, just don't forget me when it's time to go. And he tells her that she is many things, but forgettable is not one of them. She's unforgettable. And I think Faye would disagree with that. And so they get
another thing that I was sad about not having you around, Rebecca, is because last week, because of all of the Rioses all together, and just we just had so much of him in that episode. It was so great, and we always over him.
Oh my goodness, the Rios hologram meeting was just the highlight of the episode. I did forget to mention that I did enjoy that the engineer was Scottish, even if his accent was not authentic, because what a lovely little nod to James Doohan as Scotty. I mean, You got to have a Scottish engineer.
Yeah.
It was very sweet.
A Scottish engineer who's not actually Scottish.
Exactly. Who's not actually Scottish. He's just doing an accent. Yeah, they have a little like cute flirting, and she's like, "Do you mean I'm inolvidable?" And he's like, "Absolutamente." And I'm just like, "Oh, okay." So then Picard and Raffi are with Arcana. She gives Raffi what appears to be a sonic screwdriver or an ocarina, and is like, "Use your imagination and it will fix your ship." And Raffi's like, "Okay."
Normally I would say that that's not a very good impression, but that particular set of synths, that's pretty spot on.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Because they're she was like the very, "Hi, welcome to our utopia" kind of person. So it's like, here, use your imagination.
Yeah.
Like cotton candy is a voice.
Yes. Yes. If cotton candy were a person, it would be that synth.
I don't know where that came from, but hey, I liked it, so I went with it.
But so then Raffi is saying goodbye to Picard. She's going to go work on the ship with Rios. And she gets really emotional, and she's like, "I know I'm breaking the rules, but you mean so much to me." And she tells him that she loves him. And it's very awkward because he's very Picard in this scene of like not being comfortable with feelings and emotions, and saying them out loud. And she's like, "You don't have to say it back, not unless you want to." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he's like, "I love you too, Raffi." And then he just leaves. Like, he's just so awkward about it. It's very sweet. It's very sweet. So then here we're going to get a couple of scenes that kind of like jump back and forth between Picard inside, and then we have Narek in the android prison, which apparently they've never had a prisoner before. So Narek is being guarded by Saga, which is Arcana's sister. He's asking her for water, saying he's thirsty. And then he's like, "Is this how you treat prisoners?" And Saga says, "Well, we've never had prisoners." She asks him, "How do the Romulans treat their prisoners?" And he says, "Let's change the subject," which I thought was like, yeah, dude, Romulans are not exactly known for being, chill with prisoners. So maybe let's not talk about that.
He's like, "Can I have a little torture over here?"
Yeah. Yeah, so then Saga goes to open the door. Soji comes in, stops her, and says, "No, he's going to trick you." Saga says that she's monitoring his biofunctions, which I thought was cool. So, I guess her thing was like, he's not going to trick me when I know everything about him, basically, or at least on a I don't know, biological level. And then Narek and Soji have this conversation where Narek's like, "I love you." And I was like, barf. No, you don't. You don't love her. You're just a manipulative sad boy who wants her to fall for your crap. And she says that she knows that he loves her. She says, there's like this back and forth about how she feels sorry for him and this and that. And he's like, "Well, I'm sorry for you because we're about to destroy this whole planet. Everyone's going to die, including you." And she's like, "Nuh-uh, not going to happen." So there's this very much back and forth about how, who feels sad for who here. So Soji goes to talk to Picard, and she is talking to him about sacrifice. And what does it mean to sacrifice a life or to make a choice to sacrifice something for the greater good? Picard says it depends if you're the person holding the knife, how you feel about sacrifice. They talk about was Agnes right to do what she did? Is it true, Did she really believe she didn't have a choice? Was that what if killing someone is the only way to survive? And Picard's like, what are you asking me here? Like, what are you really planning? And then interspersed with this, we've got Sutra showing up, telling Saga she's going to relieve her of guard duty. And then Sutra goes into the cell with Narek and basically says to him she's going to give him a chance to get out of there, but she wants to use him for her own purposes first before she kills him. It's basically what she's saying. So what plan could she have here? Now, was her plan to let him escape and kill Saga? Because Saga is dead, right? We saw like her little bird brooch. It was jammed into her eye. She's dead. Well, I think she is dead because they say later on that she was killed. Are we to believe that she wanted to let him escape with killing one of the synths? So it could be like, oh, look, see, we have to call for help. Look how terrible these organic people are. Is that what you think her plan is, or you think it's something bigger than that?
At first, that's what I thought, but then I don't know. And then seeing the like next on kind of stuff, and Narek's all like, I'm here, I want to help, or whatever. It's like, what's going on? Like, I don't know what's happening. Anyway, but I did, what I actually wanted to say before you started to ask this question was that the one, she had that pin stuck in her eye even when she was laying on the table and she was dead. They just left it so you know which one was which. And I just thought that was amusing. Anyway, I'm done.
I did think that was funny. It was still sticking out of her eye. It's like, you couldn't have taken the bird out? Like, you couldn't have taken the pin out?
We also are assuming that Narek killed her. We don't know that he did. We'd like to believe that he did, because we're given that little shot earlier where we see him looking at the brooch and looking at her, but he might not have killed her. She might have just let him escape and then killed Saga herself. Mm-hmm. But I think it is just for nefarious purposes of getting everybody to be on her side. Also, nerdiness. Would you like to hear some nerdiness?
Always.
So, you know how the station's called Coppelius? Mm-hmm. So Coppelius is taken from a German, essentially fairy tale about the Sandman. And Coppelius was essentially a mad alchemist who would take shining masses from the fire and hammer them into face-like shapes that did not have eyes. So when Sung finds Saga and says her beautiful golden eyes, we get a little mad scientist with eyes in a dead face. Little bit of a callback to the Sandman there.
I had no idea. That was, oh my goodness.
Thank you for that little tidbit.
Cool.
Nice little bit of nerdiness.
See, there was a reason why we had you on this episode. Can you tell us about that?
I mean, besides the fact that we love you anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. That's really cool. I did not know that at all.
Nice little bit of cleverness from the writers there. I liked that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because he did make a big deal about, he's like, her beautiful eye, her gold. And I was like, oh, okay, you're obsessed with the eye. Okay, got it. Like, I didn't, but now in that context, that line takes on a whole nother, a deeper flavor, which is pretty cool. Awesome. So we come to the end of our episode here. Sutra is basically telling everybody, oh, look what happened. The organic people came, and now our sister is dead. Which, again, we didn't see who killed Saga. It could have been Narek, but it could also have been Sutra, to make it look like Narek for her own nefarious purposes. Dr. Sung says that the way to contact a group of advanced synths, it's embedded in the admonition. They have already devised a way to call them. They have a device that can call them. Basically, they'll reach out for help. These synthetic beings will show up, and they're going to destroy the organics. She tells Picard that the Federation is no different than the Romulans, that banning the creation of synths was just exterminating them in advance. And, you know, to a degree, I see her point. The Romulans are just like flat out, we want to destroy